I'm delighted today to be joined by Victoria Knight. Victoria, you've had a very, very impressive career, from a HRD to recently being CEO of a private equity-backed business. And what's really interesting about your career is you have operated across a number of industry sectors, and we're in an environment where change is constant. So we'd be really, really keen to get your views on some of those topics.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Firstly, during a significant enterprise-led transformation, what role does the human resources function play in driving change and adoption?
HR plays a pivotal role in kind of driving change and adoption of change. And I think it falls into a number of areas. So I'm going to start with communication. So communication either doesn't happen or often happens too late. And if you think of your workforce, they almost need to understand the what's in it for me piece to get on board with it. I think if we then move on to things like training, do we have the right skills in a business? Are there some skills gaps that we need to plug? And then again, it's not just about the what we need to do, it's the when we actually do it. There's no point training your workforce if you do it at the wrong time.
What role does the HR function play in reimagining work during a business transformation?
HR's role in this is to kind of hold the lens up to the organisation, make sure kind of all voices are heard and that decisions are not made that negatively impact either the workplace, the workers, or the culture of the organisation.
How can the HR function support in technology enablement and the adoption of data-driven decision-making?
In my opinion, and it is my opinion, but I think every HR department should have already embraced kind of technology and data-driven decision-making. They don't have to rely on instinct anymore. They can absolutely back up kind of the decisions and strategies that they want to put in place through data points. But it really helps you to drill into where you've potentially got problems coming down the line in the future as well. If we then look at things like employee surveys, I am a big fan of an employee survey, but an employee survey is completely useless if the data's not analysed. And it shouldn't just be absorbing data from their own systems, it should also be absorbing data from the business. Data around individual performance is an example, which takes kind of that gut instinct out of performance reviews. It's suddenly there's metrics and data that back up kind of the feedback you're then giving to that individual to drive their performance forwards. But the most important part for this of kind of data within HR for me is putting that data back in the hands of frontline managers and leaders of business areas and enabling them to kind of drive activity forwards that fundamentally changes and transforms their business areas. For me, data-driven decisions transform HR from being a support function to a strategic partner within a business.
In your opinion, why is HR optimization essential during a period of business transformation?
Regardless of any transformation activity you've got going on, generally speaking, HR teams tend to be kept quite lean and, your workforce doesn't stop being a workforce with all its demands in the here and now, alongside kind of any transformation activity that you're bringing into that team as well. So I think it is critical to not focus solely on the transformation and lose sight of kind of the BAU, what's in flight today.
Victoria, it's been great speaking to you today and hearing such valuable and thought-provoking insights from your experience, and I certainly think there is a lot to take away from it, but equally there is a lot that we need to be mindful of learning and having that agile approach for the future, because it's constantly evolving and changing. So thank you again for your time. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.